Child of infinite supply, let me ask you a question that will shake the very foundation of your belief. If the entire wealth of the universe were already yours, would you dare to claim it today? Or would you shrink before the gates of heaven, believing yourself unworthy of the treasures prepared for you before time began? For I tell you this sacred truth, there is no lack in God, there is no delay in spirit, there is no withholding in divine mind. The gold in the mountains, the diamonds in the earth, the fortunes waiting to be called forth, they are not hiding from you, they are waiting for you to speak the word that opens the storehouse of heaven. You have been taught to toil, to struggle, to beg for crumbs, yet the infinite whispers, all that I have is thine. The law is eternal, what you speak with faith becomes flesh, what you decree in love appears before your very eyes. Divine substance rushes to fill the mold of your unwavering word. And when you understand this, child, you no longer chase abundance, you magnetize it. But I must ask you again, will you dare to command the infinite? Will you dare to hack the universe by aligning your heart, your faith, and your word with divine law? For if you will, money ceases to be a problem. Opportunities arise without struggle. Doors fly open without effort. You stop chasing and begin attracting, for you have entered the kingdom of effortless supply. Stay with me, beloved, for in the next moments we will awaken a power within you that has slept for lifetimes. We will speak the word that shatters limitation. We will call forth the floodgates of abundance, for divine substance is obedient to the voice of faith. But first, I invite you. If your soul is ready for this awakening, if you long to see miracles unfold in your own life, like this video, subscribe to the channel and prepare your spirit, for the word you are about to hear is alive, and it shall not return void. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Do you understand what this means, beloved? The first act of creation was spoken. The infinite did not build the universe with bricks and mortar, nor with blood and sweat, nor with striving and fear. The infinite spoke, and the formless became form, the invisible became visible, and the substance of spirit clothed itself in matter. And yet, men and women walk this earth as paupers, not because heaven has withheld its treasures, but because they have not learned to speak as kings. They whisper their doubts into the ethers and wonder why the heavens echo back their poverty. They decree lack and lack appears. They fear loss and loss comes running. For make no mistake, the universe is impartial, obedient, and exact. What you speak, you summon. I tell you plainly, child, your word is your wand. It is your command to the forces of divine substance, the living energy from which all forms are shaped. Money, opportunities, health, relationships, they are not created outside of you. They are drawn forth from the infinite reservoir within you, responding only to the vibration of your word, your faith, and your unwavering expectancy. Consider this truth. Thomas Edison, before he ever touched a filament, spoke his invention into being. He did not hope vaguely, he declared, I will make light without flame. And though thousands of experiments failed, his word went before him like a pillar of fire, summoning every particle of intelligence necessary to fulfill its decree. Was that luck? No. It was law. Divine substance, obedient to the spoken command, arranged itself into manifestation, and so it is with you. When you speak of wealth, but vibrate with fear, you sow confusion into your field. When you affirm abundance but secretly expect bills, you speak a divided word, and a divided house cannot stand. But when your word and your faith are one, when your decree leaves no room for doubt, the universe must obey. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. So says the scripture, and I say to you, there is no neutral speech. Every syllable you release carries a charge of creation. You either speak life or you speak death. You either summon plenty or repel it, and the spirit moves in response to your decree, not your desire, not your wishing, not your begging, but your decree. Beloved, I tell you a mystery. The lottery of life is not random. The infinite does not draw names from a celestial hat, nor cast dice into chaos. The lottery is rigged in favor of the soul who understands divine law, the one who realizes that he or she is the lawgiver. It is not the number on your ticket that determines your wealth, but the vibration of your expectancy. Your consciousness is the true number drawn. Andrew Carnegie, before building an empire of steel, stood as a poor immigrant boy on the streets of Pittsburgh. He carried no fortune, no education, no inheritance, only a word planted deep in his heart. I will command riches. And the universe, obedient to his decree, moved mountains, bent time, and conspired to open doors he had not yet imagined. The men of power he needed, the opportunities he required, the luck the world envied, all of it came rushing, because his word carried conviction. Hear me, it is not arrogance to speak riches into being, it is arrogance to doubt the promise of God. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. Yet most souls ask while secretly expecting denial. They seek while preparing to fail. They knock timidly, believing no one will answer, and so their harvest is barren, not because the law is cruel, but because their seed is poisoned. You have been taught to wait, to delay, to earn your right to abundance through endless striving, but the infinite delays nothing. Delay lives only in your belief. Every possibility, every manifestation, every stream of wealth exists now, awaiting your word to call it forth. To say, one day I shall be wealthy, is to push the substance of your good forever into tomorrow. But to decree, I walk in wealth now, divine supply is flowing to me this instant, is to activate the law of immediate manifestation. Beloved, I must awaken you to this. Divine substance has no concept of time, no awareness of calendars, no memory of your past failures. It is eternally present, infinitely obedient, infinitely available. When you speak the word, substance rushes to clothe it with form. Not next year, not when the economy improves, not when the world approves. Now. Think of Walt Disney, bankrupt and ridiculed, standing before acres of Florida swampland saying, I see a kingdom here. Those around him saw mosquitoes and mud. He saw castles and fireworks. He spoke it, he believed it, and he refused to cancel his word with doubt. Today, millions walk the streets of that impossible dream, proof eternal that divine substance answers faith's decree. And yet, so many today wander in circles, waiting for permission to prosper, waiting for the right time, the lucky break, the sign from the universe. But child, you are the sign. The law was written into your being before you were born. You are the Word made flesh, the living expression of divine authority. Every time you say, I cannot afford this, you close the door to the infinite supply that longs to pour through you. Every time you say, I am broke, you command divine substance to keep you in chains. But when you shift your word, the energy rearranges. Say instead, I am the heir of infinite riches. I walk in divine supply. Unexpected income flows to me freely and without resistance. Say it until every cell in your being vibrates with truth, until your expectation becomes unshakable. Do you see now why so few ever win the so-called lottery? It is not numbers, but consciousness. A man may buy 1,000 tickets, but if his heart speaks lack, he shall attract lack. Another may buy but one, and his faith speaks overflow, and the substance moves. It is not luck, but law. I tell you again, your word is the code. The ancient prophets called it logos, the creative vibration through which the infinite manifests worlds. This is the bug in the matrix men whisper about, the divine hack that bypasses struggle and releases immediate supply. When you align your word with unshakable faith, doors open where there are no doors, rivers flow in deserts, and what the world calls miracles become your daily bread. Child, I speak this with authority. Stop rehearsing your limitations and begin declaring your inheritance. Stop telling the story of your struggle and begin speaking the language of victory. For spirit moves not when you complain, but when you command. And now, as you hear these words, I ask you to breathe deeply and decree silently with me. I am one with infinite supply. I command divine substance to manifest here and now. Unexpected streams of income flow to me from every direction. I live in effortless abundance, for I and the Father are one. Say it until you believe it until you see it, and when you see it, give thanks, for gratitude multiplies the harvest. Beloved, this is only the beginning. We have touched but the hem of the garment. In the next part, we will dive deeper into the secret of divine timing, the power of non-resistance, and how to dissolve every block between you and the wealth that already belongs to you. But for now, seal this truth in your heart. Your word shapes your world. Speak abundance, and abundance shall appear. If you have received this revelation, if your spirit feels awakened, then like this video and subscribe to the channel, for the word you plant today will be the harvest you walk in tomorrow. Be still, and know that I am God. Child, do you hear the command hidden within those words? It does not say strive harder. It does not say struggle endlessly. It does not say chase, beg, or force the doors to open. It says only this: be still. For in stillness, you align with the rhythm of divine timing. In stillness, you remember that the harvest ripens without anxiety, the rivers flow without pushing, The stars move in silence yet never collide. The infinite never rushes, never hesitates, never doubts. All things unfold with precision, for divine order is the heartbeat of creation. And yet, humanity has been trained to doubt the invisible. You look at the appearance of lack and you tremble. You stare at the unpaid bills and whisper, "When will my good come?" You set deadlines in fear and sabotage your faith with impatience. But hear me now, the delay you perceive is not divine, it is born of your resistance. Faith has no timetable. Faith knows that what is decreed is already done. Faith declares, "I have it now," even while the senses scream otherwise. Faith does not negotiate with appearances. Faith commands appearances to bow. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Do you hear it, beloved? Faith is substance. It is not imagination, not fantasy, not wishing. It is the very spiritual matter out of which form is shaped. It is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the unseen and the seen, the word and its manifestation. Consider the great inventors, prophets and builders of history. When Orison Swett Marden lost his manuscript, thousands of pages consumed in a single fire, he did not collapse in despair. Instead, he said, "Divine mind is never limited. If one book has burned, I shall write another, better than the first." And within months, he produced the very words that would inspire generations toward prosperity and success. This is the secret. Faith never clings to what is lost, for faith knows the source is infinite. You are not bound to any one channel, any one opportunity, any one path. Infinite intelligence has 1,000 ways to deliver your good. If one door closes, it is only that a greater one may open. If one stream dries, it is only to lead you to an ocean you have not yet seen. But here lies the trap that ensnares so many seekers: resistance. Resistance says, "I must control how it happens." Resistance says, "It must come from this person, through this job, on this date." Resistance clenches the fist and blocks the flow. Non-resistance, however, whispers a higher truth. "I do not know how, but I know it is done. I do not dictate the channels. I trust divine mind to deliver through perfect ways. My only work is to align my word and my faith. The method belongs to God. Look to nature, child. The trees do not strain to grow. They receive the sunlight and reach upward with ease. The rivers do not force their course. They find the path of least resistance and yet carve valleys through stone. The lilies do not toil, yet Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. And yet you, divine heir of infinite supply, have been taught to labor and suffer for what already belongs to you. Release your grip. Rest in trust. Speak the word, and then let go. For as long as you demand to control the how, you block the when. Thomas Troward, one of the great metaphysicians, taught this eternal principle. Having done our work, we must leave the results to the power that knows how to bring them forth. He knew that worry dissolves faith, and anxiety shoo. What's the gates of supply? But gratitude. Gratitude unlocks them wide. This is why the ancient prophets gave thanks before the miracle appeared. Jesus, standing before 5 loaves and 2 fish, looked upward and said, "Father, I thank thee." And as he gave thanks, the loaves multiplied, the fish overflowed, and thousands were fed. Gratitude is the language of divine timing. It declares, "I already have it, and because you have claimed it in spirit, substance rushes to clothe it in form." You see, beloved, wealth has never been about struggle. It has never been about earning in the way the world defines earning. Wealth is not the reward of toil. It is the natural inheritance of the one who remembers who they are. You are the child of the infinite. The substance of the universe is your birthright. Every dollar in circulation, every opportunity waiting in the wings, every divine idea floating in the ethers, all of it responds to the consciousness of the one who claims it boldly. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate." I tell you now, the law is not fate, it is agreement. You are always agreeing with something, abundance or lack, faith or fear, flow or resistance. And whatever you agree with in consciousness, you receive in form. This is why affirmations without faith are empty shells. You may repeat, "I am wealthy," 1,000 times, but if your heart vibrates with doubt, the word has no power. The secret is to feel it already done, to breathe it as reality, to walk as if you carry the title deed in your hands. Napoleon Hill, after interviewing hundreds of the world's wealthiest men, discovered the same unshakable truth. What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But note this, child. It is not mere conception that moves mountains, but belief. Conceiving without believing is wishing. Believing without speaking is silence. Speaking without feeling is emptiness. But when thought, word, and faith are aligned, you become unstoppable. Faith is magnetic. It draws your good to you with mathematical precision. Non-resistance keeps the path open. It clears the clutter of anxiety and expectation. It allows infinite intelligence to orchestrate connections, opportunities, and coincidences you could never plan. And divine timing? Divine timing is the music beneath it all, the rhythm by which spirit dances creation into being. When you grasp this harmony, manifestation ceases to be struggle and becomes flow. Money arrives without chase. Ideas come as flashes of revelation. People appear at the exact moment you require them. The right place, the right time, the right opportunity, all of it converges effortlessly because you have stopped rowing against the current and allowed the river to carry you home. Now hear me. The so-called lottery of life bends to those who move beyond fear. The masses play with doubt in their hearts, believing the odds stacked against them. But a soul anchored in divine faith knows there are no odds, no chance, no random rolls of celestial dice. There is only alignment or misalignment, flow or resistance, belief or unbelief. This is why those who seem lucky are not blessed by chance, but by consciousness. They expect good, therefore, they receive it. They live in gratitude before the supply arrives. Therefore, the supply flows to them. Their word is backed by feeling, and feeling clothes the word in flesh. And so I ask you, beloved, what have you been speaking? What stories do you tell yourself about money, about success, about worthiness? Do you rehearse lack or declare plenty? Do you cling to timelines or trust divine order? The shift begins here. Speak the word, feel it as already done, release resistance, and move in gratitude. Then watch as doors open without knocking, as rivers part without struggle, as wealth flows without demand. And remember always, divine substance is infinite. It knows no shortage, no limitation, no withholding. The only block is the belief in blocks. The moment you surrender your fears, your striving, your insistence on controlling the path, you allow the infinite to do for you what you could never do for yourself. Beloved, the kingdom of heaven is not afar off. It is within you. It is not locked behind some celestial gate, waiting for death to deliver you. It is here, now, nearer than your very breath. Yet most walk this earth as beggars at the gates of infinite wealth, crying for scraps while sitting on the treasure of eternity. You are surrounded by supply, clothed in possibility, drenched in divine substance. Yet if your consciousness clings to lack, you stand blind before the banquet table of the universe. I tell you a sacred mystery. The vibration you hold in your heart determines the form your life takes. Divine law does not answer your words alone. It answers the music beneath your words, the vibration you radiate into the ethers. You may say, I am wealthy, yet tremble inside with fear of bills, and the vibration of fear overrides the syllables of prosperity. You may affirm abundance 1,000 times, but rehearse thoughts of limitation between each breath, and the law responds, unbending and impartial, to the deeper song you sing. This is why true manifestation begins in the unseen chambers of the heart, not on the lips. It begins by training the subconscious mind, the silent architect of your destiny. Your conscious words plant seeds, but it is the subconscious soil that determines the harvest. Speak a word once, and your conscious mind eases it. Repeat it with feeling, and your subconscious begins to weave reality around it. Do you understand the power of this? The subconscious does not argue. It does not reason. It does not know humor or sarcasm. It accepts as absolute whatever you persistently impress upon it. Speak poverty long enough, and it builds poverty's walls around you. Speak wealth with faith, and it lays foundations of gold beneath your feet. Christian D. Larson, the great metaphysical teacher, said, "To be able to think what you want to think is the first step toward manifesting what you want to manifest. But thought alone is not enough. You must feel the thought until it becomes identity. You must see yourself walking in wealth long before wealth appears. You must carry yourself as an heir to infinite supply even while standing in empty halls. For the universe mirrors not your desire, but your state of being. Desire says, I want. Faith says, I have. Desire vibrates with longing, faith vibrates with completion, and divine law always fulfills completion, never longing. This is why so many souls remain stuck in cycles of lack, frustration, and deferred dreams. They pray for wealth while rehearsing images of struggle. They speak of abundance but expect disappointment. They sow seeds of faith but water them with doubt, and the harvest mirrors the mixture of their vibration. But I tell you now, there is a higher way. The key is alignment. To speak the word with conviction, to feel it as already done, and to train the subconscious until your state of being becomes one with your decree. How, you ask? By persistent immersion in truth. By repetition of affirmations charged with feeling, not as hollow chants, but as living flames. By seeing the end from the beginning and walking as though your good has already arrived. This is not pretending, this is prophesying. You are writing your future into form with every vibration you release. Walt Disney once stood on an empty plot of land, pointing to the wilderness and saying, "There will be a kingdom here, a place where imagination rules." Others laughed. Banks refused him, advisors called him foolish, but he saw it finished before the first brick was laid. He vibrated at the frequency of completion, and divine substance, hearing the song of his faith, rearranged reality to match it. Today, millions walk his dream, proof that vibration precedes manifestation. Beloved, your wealth is not coming, it already exists. You are not waiting for it, it is waiting for you. The river of divine supply flows endlessly, but you must step into its current. And the stepping is not through labor, not through force, not through manipulation. It is through belief, alignment, and surrender. Understand this. Every problem in your life is a vibrational mismatch. When your frequency contradicts your decree, manifestation stalls. But when your thoughts, words, feelings, and actions harmonize, the universe responds instantly. This is the bug in the great lottery of life. The one who aligns wins without effort, while the one who resists loses even when trying hardest. And here lies the grace of divine law. Alignment can be chosen in a moment. You do not need years of waiting, decades of striving, or endless ceremonies. The instant you shift your vibration, your reality begins to rearrange. The instant you speak as one who already possesses, the unseen supply starts its march toward you. Ella Wheeler. Wilcox wrote, "You never can tell what your thoughts will do in bringing you hate or love, for thoughts are things, and their airy wings are swifter than carrier doves." This is not poetry, it is physics. Every thought carries a charge, every word carries power, every emotion emits a signal into the field of infinite intelligence. The signal you radiate returns multiplied, clothed in form, echoing your inner state. And so I ask you now, child of divine mind, what is your signal? Do you broadcast fear or faith? Do you emit lack or abundance? Are your words decrees or confessions of defeat? To hack the universe is to master this signal, to become the clear channel through which divine supply flows without resistance. It is not manipulation, it is alignment with what already is. For in truth, all your good is already finished, complete, established in the invisible. Divine mind has prepared the banquet. Your only task is to accept the invitation through faith. And when you accept, the law of divine compensation awakens. What you believe you have lost returns multiplied. What seemed delayed arrives suddenly. What was withheld opens wide. The infinite settles no debts unpaid. Every act of faith, every unseen seed, every trusting surrender is met with increase beyond imagining. This is why Jesus declared, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." He did not speak in metaphor, but in spiritual mechanics. The flow you allow is the flow you receive. When you hoard in fear, you affirm lack. When you give in trust, you affirm abundance. And the law, impartial and exact, mirrors your belief back to you. Swami Vivekananda, the great sage, said, "All power is within you. You can do anything and everything." I say to you now, the gates of your fortune open not by begging God to move, but by awakening to the God force already moving through you. The infinite is not outside. It is your very life, your very breath, the creative substance coursing through your being. When you know this, wealth becomes effortless, for you are no longer seeking supply. You become it. But take heed, beloved, effortless does not mean passive. You are called to bold decrees, unshakable expectancy, and fearful faith. Speak as one with authority, walk as one who knows, expect as one already fulfilled. And as you do, watch how doors swing wide where none existed, how opportunities emerge from unseen realms, how wealth flows through channels you never considered. For divine substance answers one language only, the language of faith embodied. Even now, as you hear these words, shift your inner state. Decree silently with me. I live in the vibration of abundance. My subconscious mind is one with infinite supply. I magnetize wealth effortlessly, for divine substance flows freely through me. Unexpected income arrives now, and I give thanks in advance. Feel it, believe it, own it, and watch as the mirror of your world begins to shine with new light. Beloved, listen closely, for what I speak now, if received, will alter the course of your life forever. There is a secret power moving through you even now, a force ancient as creation itself, and when you awaken to it, you become unstoppable. You no longer chase wealth, wealth chases you. You no longer beg doors to open, they open before you, unbidden, as though compelled by some unseen command. This power is magnetic. It is the language by which your soul speaks to divine substance. It is not found in struggle, nor earned through suffering. It is the natural inheritance of one aligned with the infinite. I speak now of magnetic attraction, the hidden law behind every miracle, every coincidence, every so-called stroke of luck. You have been taught that success is gained by labor, that money flows only to those who grind, push, and strive. But the true masters of manifestation, the prophets of prosperity, the builders of empires, they all knew a higher law. Wealth is not pursued, it is attracted. Opportunities are not hunted, they are summoned by vibration. Divine substance does not respond to effort, it responds to alignment. Thomas Troward called this the law of opulence. He taught that the supply of the universe is infinite, and that the only limitation lies within the individual consciousness. He said, when we realize that the very substance of our being is one with the substance of God, we discover that there is no separation between us and our good. Do you understand what this means, beloved? It means the wealth you desire is not outside of you. It is within you, vibrating, waiting, responding to the frequency of your belief. The universe mirrors you perfectly, without bias or delay. This is why two people may stand in the same economy, the same city, the same circumstances, and yet one prospers while the other struggles. One vibrates abundance, the other clings to lack. One speaks, everything I touch turns to gold, and watches doors fly open. The other repeats, I can never get ahead, and the gates of supply remain shut. Divine law is impartial, beloved. It rewards the expectant heart and bypasses the doubting one. As you believe, so shall it be done unto you. This is why magnetic attraction begins not with action, but with identity. Who do you believe yourself to be? A seeker, hoping for scraps, or an heir, already possessing infinite riches? For the one who sees themselves as wealthy, walks in a frequency wealth cannot ignore. Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest men who ever lived, said, any idea that is held in the mind, emphasized, feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. Do you see it? Thought, charged with feeling, becomes magnet. Feeling, sustained with faith, becomes manifestation. But hear this warning, you cannot deceive divine substance. You cannot speak one thing and vibrate another, for the law hears only the music beneath your words. You must become the vibration of that which you seek. You must live as though the prayer is already answered, as though the promise is already kept. Therefore I say unto you, whatsoever things ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. This is not a metaphor, child, it is instruction. The believing comes first, the having follows inevitably, and yet, so many sabotage their manifestations by rehearsing fear. They plant the seed of wealth in the soil of doubt, they affirm abundance in the morning and confess struggle by nightfall. They decree, I am rich, but live as though poverty is permanent. And the law, obedient and exact, mirrors back the contradiction. But when you hold a single frequency, unwavering, uncluttered, untainted by fear, manifestation accelerates, the invisible becomes visible. What you call forth arrives swiftly, almost startlingly. This is not magic, it is mathematics. Napoleon Hill spoke this law when he said, when riches begin to come, they come so quickly, in such great abundance, that one wonders where they have been hiding during all those lean years. Do you see, beloved, the riches were never hiding, they were waiting, waiting for alignment, waiting for faith, waiting for the vibration of certainty. Now, there is a higher key to this acceleration, and I will give it to you plainly. Align with your soul purpose wealth. There is a form of abundance prepared specifically for you. Streams of supply that flow effortlessly when you walk the path of your divine assignment. Walt Disney did not chase riches, he chased vision. Andrew Carnegie did not chase money, he pursued service on a grand scale. Even Nikola Tesla, forgotten in his lifetime, stood in faith, saying, "My ideas come like a thunderclap from the heavens." And today, the world runs on the fruits of his inner alignment. When you unite your wealth with your purpose, resistance dissolves, the universe bends to your flow, you no longer seek, you attract, you no longer toil, you allow, and becks. As your desire serves more than yourself, the supply is multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is the law behind the lottery manifestation bug. Those who expect sudden windfalls, who know themselves to be worthy, who vibrate joy and gratitude before the supply appears, align with a current few understand. To the world, it looks like luck. To spirit, it is perfect precision. You must stop trying to force the miracle and begin feeling it now. Feel it as though you've already received the call, already held the winning ticket, already opened the door to overflowing supply. Not once, not sometimes, always. Say it with me now, silently within. I am magnetic to wealth. Every cell of my being radiates abundance. I walk in divine opulence. Money, opportunities, and miracles flow to me effortlessly. I am aligned, I am worthy, I am fulfilled. Let it sink into your bones. Let it write itself upon your subconscious. This is the new song you sing into the ethers, and the universe, unable to resist your vibration, will echo it back in form. Beloved, if your spirit is awakening and your heart knows this truth is yours, declare it aloud. Speak your manifestation into existence. In fact, I invite you, comment below what you are calling forth in faith, for there is power in written word, and what you decree publicly multiplies in vibration. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and write your manifestation boldly, for your agreement sets the law in motion. Beloved, hear this truth, for it shall set you free. You are not bound by the stories of your ancestors. You are not chained to the patterns of lack, limitation, and struggle that ran through the generations before you. You were born to break cycles. You were sent to rewrite destinies. You are the chosen one in your bloodline, the one through whom divine wealth shall flow anew. The world will try to convince you that you are a product of your upbringing, a prisoner of your past, a reflection of your parents' limitations and society's beliefs. But I tell you boldly, divine law transcends heredity. The infinite created you free, untouched by human story, unbound by ancestral lack. What appears as generational struggle is nothing but an inherited belief, and belief, once seen, can be rewritten in an instant. G.I. Gurdjieff, the great mystic, said, "A man can escape his fate only by awakening." Your awakening begins here, beloved. For you are not here to repeat history, you are here to transmute it. Where your ancestors saw struggle, you shall see supply. Where they bowed to limitation, you shall rise in mastery. Where they whispered, "There is never enough," you shall declare, "I am one with infinite substance, and my cup runneth over." Understand this, the patterns that appear inherited are not curses, they are codes, vibrations impressed upon the subconscious by repetition and experience. From childhood, you absorb the fears, doubts, and beliefs of those around you. If you heard, "Money doesn't grow on trees," enough times, your subconscious accepted scarcity as law. If you watched those before you toil endlessly, you may believe struggle is the only path to success. But these are not eternal truths, they are temporary programs. Child of divine mind, you are not your programming, you are the programmer, and when you realize this, you hold the master key to the vault of infinite supply. The subconscious, once trained, bends reality itself. Every cell in your being carries memory, vibration, and identity. But these identities can be rewritten the moment you align with higher truth. You may have been born into a family that feared poverty, but you were born of spirit, which knows only abundance. You may have inherited patterns of do, out, but you carry within you the inheritance of kings. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Do you hear the promise, beloved? The kingdom is not earned, it is given. You need not toil, plead, or prove your worthiness. You were born worthy. You came with the seal of divine right already upon you, but your inheritance must be claimed. A gift unclaimed is a gift unused. Divine supply surrounds you like an ocean, but if you carry only a thimble of belief, you draw but a thimbleful of abundance. You must expand your capacity to receive. Christian D. Larson wrote, "To him who opens wide the doors of his mind to the larger life comes." If you expect little, you receive little. If you prepare for overflow, overflow comes rushing. This is why visualization is so potent. Not because pictures create reality, but because they reprogram your identity. See yourself wealthy, and your subconscious begins to identify as wealthy. Feel yourself living in abundance, and your energy begins to magnetize abundance. Speak prosperity until every cell vibrates with the conviction that it is already yours. Beloved, hear me. You are not attracting wealth, you are allowing it. Divine substance is infinite, constant, and everywhere present. You are not summoning something distant, you are releasing resistance to what has always been yours. The flow was never withheld, it was only blocked by belief, and the fastest way to dissolve these blocks is through forgiveness, not only of others, but of yourself and your lineage. Release the story of struggle you inherited. Bless your ancestors for their journeys, and declare, I honor where I come from, but I step into the inheritance prepared for me from the foundation of the world. When you forgive the past, you reclaim your authority in the present. Andrew Carnegie once said, "The man who dies rich dies disgraced." He understood that wealth is not given merely to be hoarded but to flow, to uplift, to circulate divine substance through the channels of your purpose. As you align with this truth, you become a steward of infinite wealth. You break the generational fear of not enough by living as the living proof of always enough. But I must reveal to you another mystery. When you rise in vibration, you shift the entire lineage before and after you. The subconscious is not personal, it is collective. As you reprogram your beliefs, you rewrite the energetic signature of your family line. You become the breaker of chains, the one who ends centuries of lack by embodying the frequency of abundance. For I will pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. This is not poetry, beloved, it is law. The infinite promises multiplication, overflow, and divine compensation for every generation that dared believe small. You are not only manifesting for yourself, you are unlocking the vault for those who came before, and those who will come after. Now, listen closely, for here lies the hidden bug in manifestation. Manifestation becomes instantaneous when identity and vibration are in complete harmony. Not partial, not wavering, not sometimes believing, and sometimes doubting. Complete harmony. This is the rare state masters have entered, the place where their decrees became reality in moments, not months. Jesus spoke, Lazarus, come forth, and death obeyed. Nikola Tesla, receiving downloads from the ethers, built technologies decades ahead of his time. Walt Disney walked in castles before one brick was laid. These were not special souls, they were aligned souls. They knew who they were, and they commanded the infinite with authority. So I ask you now, beloved, who are you becoming? Are you willing to release the identity of struggle? Are you willing to stop rehearsing the story of not enough and step boldly into your divine inheritance? Decree it with me now. I am the chain breaker of my lineage. I dissolve every inherited belief of lack, limitation, and fear. I claim my divine right to infinite abundance. My wealth flows, my channels open, my good appears now. Say it until the words burn into your being. Say it until every thought bows to the new identity you have chosen. For the subconscious obeys repetition, and the universe obeys vibration. Beloved, in the next part, we will step into the most sacred chambers of manifestation, where miracles become natural, where timelines collapse, and where the instantaneous becomes your everyday reality. Beloved, I ask you a question that pierces the veil of the ordinary. What if manifestation were never meant to take years? What if the delays you've endured were never divine, but self-imposed? What if the miracle you've prayed for has been standing at the door all along, waiting, not on God, but on your permission to enter? For I tell you this eternal truth, there is no time in spirit. The delays you perceive are not divine detours, they are human resistance. Spirit knows no waiting, no distance, no process. In divine mind, your wealth, your healing, your opportunity, it already is. But between the eternal is and your lived experience lies the bridge of identity. The universe cannot deliver to you a reality you do not yet identify with. It cannot give you what you do not claim as already yours. This is why so many live in constant asking and never receiving. They beg for abundance while identifying as poor. They pray for love while believing themselves unworthy. They visualize success but vibrate with fear. Their word and their identity are divided, and a divided house cannot stand. Before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear. Do you understand, beloved? The infinite has already said yes to every desire placed in your heart. The question is not, when will it come? The question is, when will I allow it? Manifestation accelerates the moment your word, feeling, and identity move into perfect harmony. When you speak as though it is done, feel as though it is done, and know as though it is done, reality bends in obedience. The universe has no choice, for the word spoken in faith is law. Thomas Troward, the great metaphysician, declared, "Principle is not bound by precedent. What has been has no authority over what shall be. The delays of your past cannot dictate the speed of your present. The moment you shift vibration, timelines collapse. What once required years can manifest in days. What once took months can appear in moments. Beloved, this is not fantasy, this is divine law." Nikola Tesla whispered secrets from the ethers when he said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Manifestation is not a matter of time, it is a matter of frequency. The moment your vibration matches your desire, it becomes yours. Instantly, inevitably, irreversibly. Consider the words of Jesus. "Say not, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest. Lift up your eyes and behold, the fields are already white unto harvest." Child of infinite mind, your harvest is already ripe. It is not coming, it is. The wealth you seek already exists in a parallel of your being. The love you crave is already choosing you. The opportunity you desire is already finished in divine mind. You do not manifest it, you tune to it. And tuning happens through 3 gates: the word, the feeling, and the knowing. First, the word, speak it as finished. Do not plead, do not beg, do not hope. Declare, command. Align your decree with divine law. I am wealth, I am health, I am love, I am supply. The moment the word leaves your lips with faith, creation responds. Second, the feeling. The subconscious is moved not by logic, but by emotion. It is impressionable, like soft clay, shaped by the heat of your inner state. Speak wealth without feeling it, and your words dissolve like mist. But speak wealth with gratitude, excitement, and unshakable faith, and the subconscious engraves it into your identity. Third, the knowing. Beyond words, beyond feelings, there is the quiet authority of one who knows. When you know you are rich, you do not question it. When you know love is yours, you do not chase it. When you know divine supply flows through you, you walk differently, breathe differently, speak differently. And the universe mirrors that knowing without hesitation. The masters of manifestation understood this secret. Walt Disney walked in his kingdom long before one castle was built. Orison Swett Marden spoke of abundance when his bank account was empty. Napoleon Hill wrote of wealth while the Great Depression raged around him. They lived in the frequency of the fulfilled desire before it was visible. And the visible world caught up. Beloved, I tell you this, reality is lagging energy. It must reflect the vibration you embody. The moment you shift, reality must shift with you. It has no choice. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Transformation begins, not with effort, but with alignment. I have seen it again and again. Those who dare to walk in the knowing of divine supply attract with such swiftness that the world calls it luck, coincidence, or miracle. But it is none of these, it is law. I recall the story of a woman burdened by debt. Every day she awakened to dread, affirming unconsciously, I cannot pay my bills. Her vibration was saturated with fear, but one day she shifted. She stopped rehearsing poverty and began declaring, infinite supply flows to me now, I am open to receive my immediate goods. Within weeks, unexpected checks arrived. A forgotten investment matured. A stranger offered her an opportunity she hadn't even imagined. The same woman, the same world. The only change? Her vibration. You do not need to force manifestation. You need to remove resistance. Non-resistance is the golden key. Stop fighting what is. Stop doubting what will be. Rest in the knowing that your good is already done. Ernest Holmes wrote, there is nothing to heal, only truth to be revealed. You do not create wealth, you reveal it. You do not create love, you tune to it. You do not create opportunity, you align with it. Beloved, can you feel it? The resistance melting, the timelines collapsing, the old identities dissolving like shadows in the light. Decree it with me now. There are no delays in divine mind. What I desire is already done. My word is law, my faith is substance, my vibration is wealth, and wealth flows to me now. Speak it aloud, whisper it in the silence, write it upon your heart until it becomes the pulse of your being. For in this rare state, when the word, the feeling, and the knowing are one, manifestation ceases to be a practice and becomes your nature. You stop attracting and begin embodying. You cease asking and start living. And when you live in this state, beloved, the universe cannot help but respond. People appear at the right time. Opportunities arrive without effort. Money flows in unexpected rivers. What once felt impossible becomes ordinary, natural, inevitable. This is the God vibration. This is the frequency of done. Beloved, in the final part of this journey, we will open the last veil, the mystery of divine union, where your will and God's will are one, where manifestation moves beyond wealth and enters the realm of miracles, purpose, and legacy. But before we cross that sacred threshold, I invite you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your experience in the comments below. Declare boldly, I am one with infinite supply, and my good appears now. Child of the infinite, do you not yet know who you are? You are not a beggar before the throne of God, pleading for scraps of provision. You are not a seeker, wandering aimlessly in search of answers. You are not separate from the source of your supply, your healing, your joy. You are the very Word made flesh, the spark of the eternal flame, the breath of God walking the earth clothed in form. The kingdom is not coming. The kingdom is within you. Heaven is not a distant promise, it is a present awareness. You are not here to earn your good, you are here to embody it. For I tell you this sacred truth, you are the vessel, you are the channel, you are the point of divine expression through which the infinite reveals itself. This is the highest secret, when you cease striving, chasing, and begging for manifestations, and instead become one with divine will, creation moves through you effortlessly. You no longer attract abundance, you radiate it. You no longer call in miracles. You are the miracle. Consider the words of Jesus, I and my Father are one. This was not metaphor, it was not poetry, it was law. The Christ consciousness within you declares the same. I and the source of all supply are one. What the Father hath is mine. Where I am, God is, and where God is, nothing can be withheld. Beloved, the highest manifestation does not come from wanting, it comes from being. Wanting creates distance between you and your desire. Being collapses it into the eternal now. You say, I want wealth, and wealth becomes tomorrow. You say, I am wealth, and wealth manifests today. You say, I hope for love, and love hides behind a veil. You say, I am love, and the world rushes to reflect it back to you. Be still, and know that I am God. Be still, cease striving, cease begging, cease fearing. And know, not believe, not hope, not wish, but know that you and God are one life, one mind, one infinite supply. This knowing births a power the world calls supernatural, but it is your natural state. Andrew Carnegie understood this when he built empires upon invisible faith. Walt Disney knew it when he saw castles in his mind long before they touched the earth. Thomas Edison lived it when he lit the world with an idea born of infinite possibility. They did not beg for permission from reality. They commanded reality by aligning with divine mind. For the word spoken in divine union carries authority. It is no longer the word of the personality. It is the word of the infinite expressed through you. Beloved, I ask you, are you ready to release the identity of the seeker and become the embodiment of the source? Are you ready to walk as one who no longer prays from lack but creates from fullness? For this is the shift. You are not trying to manifest. You are remembering that manifestation is your nature. You are not waiting for blessings. You are awakening to the truth that you are the blessing. You are not hoping for miracles. You are the vessel through which miracles flow. Listen to me well. You are not separate from your supply. The river does not run toward you. The river runs through you. You are the open channel through which divine substance expresses itself into the material world. Your wealth flows because you are wealth. Your healing unfolds because you are wholeness. Your love magnetizes because you are love. When you know this, the struggles cease. The delays dissolve. The resistance melts like mist under the morning sun. For you realize there is nothing to get, only something to allow. All that I have is thine, says the infinite, not some of it, not after years of proving yourself worthy, not after toil and sacrifice. All of it, now. So speak the word as one with authority. I and divine supply are one. I am wealth. I am love. I am health. I am perfect, complete, and whole now. Speak it not from longing, but from knowing. Speak it not to make it true, but because it is true. The great Ernest Holmes wrote, We are all immersed in an infinite creative mind which responds to us through the law of correspondence. Do you understand, beloved? The infinite mirrors your consciousness exactly. You cannot receive what you are unwilling to become. Become wealth in your vibration, and wealth must follow. Become love in your frequency, and love must appear. Become freedom in your spirit, and doors you could not see before will open effortlessly. G.I. Gurdjieff said, "Man is asleep, but you, beloved, are waking up. You are remembering that you are not here to strive, but to create, not here to chase, but to command. And when you awaken fully, you understand the deepest truth of all. You are not manifesting things. You are manifesting states of consciousness, and the things are simply reflections of your being. Therefore, seek first not money, but the consciousness of wealth. Seek first not love, but the consciousness of divine union. Seek first not healing, but the consciousness of wholeness. And all these things shall be added unto you. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you." The kingdom is not a place, it is a vibration. Enter it, and lack disappears. And when you live in this vibration long enough, miracles cease to be miracles. They become your natural rhythm. Money flows in unexpected rivers. Ideas arrive before you ask for them. Doors open without knocking. People appear without searching. Why? Because you have stopped living as a separate self and started living as the infinite expressing itself. Beloved, this is the final awakening. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a single drop. Speak this aloud now. Let your entire being resound with it. I am one with the infinite. I am wealth in form, health in expression, and love in action. Divine substance flows through me without limit. I live in the vibration of done. I am that I am. And so it is, and so it shall forever be. Beloved, if this journey has awakened something within you, if you feel the quickening of spirit, I invite you now, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and declare your realization in the comments below. I am one with infinite supply, and my manifestation flows now. For the word you speak today shall not return void, and the manifestation you claim today is already done in divine mind.